Right now, in this exact moment, your child's brain is doing something extraordinary. Not when they're in a classroom, not when you put on an educational video. Right now, while they're playing on the floor, while they're watching you cook, while they're just sitting there, looking at their hands. Their brain is building 1 million new neural connections every single second. 1 million per second. And here's what nobody told you. Most of us, with the best intentions, doing everything we think is right, are accidentally slowing that process down. Not because we're bad parents, because we were never taught how a child's brain actually grows. I'm going to change that today. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what your child's brain needs to build itself, and the 6 quiet habits that make all the difference. None of them cost money. None of them take extra time. You're just going to do what you already do, but differently. We need to talk about a window, because your child's brain has one. The first 5 years of life represent the most intense period of brain development a human being will ever experience. Neuroscientists call this the critical period, a time when the architecture of the brain is being laid down faster and more permanently than at any other point in life. What happens during these years doesn't just shape who your child is at 5, it shapes who they are at 15, at 35. The patterns of thinking, the emotional responses, the capacity for focus and resilience, those roots are being planted right now. Now here's what gets me. We live in a world that's selling parents the idea that brain development comes from the right toys, the right apps, the right preschool. Flashcards at 18 months, coding at 4. A schedule packed so tight there's no room to breathe. But neuroscience tells a completely different story. The brain doesn't grow from what we give children. It grows from what we allow them to experience. And the most powerful experiences aren't scheduled. They happen in the quiet, ordinary moments of everyday life, if we let them. 1. Let them finish their own sentences. Here's something that's probably happening in your house right now. Your child is trying to tell you something. They pause. They search for the word, and before they find it, you finish the sentence for them. You do it because you love them, because you understand them, because it's faster. But here's what's happening in their brain at that exact moment. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for language, memory, and problem solving, was actively firing, searching, making connections. And when you jump in, that process stops. The neural pathway doesn't complete. The connection doesn't form. But when you wait, even just 5 seconds, even 10, their brain has to work. It has to retrieve. It has to build. And that struggle is not frustrating their development. That struggle is their development. Next time they pause mid-sentence, bite your tongue. Count to 5 in your head. Let them find the word, even if it takes a while, even if it's the wrong word. That effort is the brain growing. 2. Narrate what they're doing, not what they should do. Most of the time when we talk to our kids, we're directing them. Put your shoes on. Eat your food. Stop doing that. Sit down. Come here. There's nothing wrong with any of those things. But there's a different kind of talking that does something remarkable for your child's brain. And most parents never discover it. It's called sportscasting. Instead of directing, you narrate. You're picking up your shoe. You're looking at it. Now you're trying to put it on your foot. This activates mirror neurons, the brain cells that help children understand their own actions by hearing them reflected back. It also strengthens executive function because you're helping them observe their own behavior without shame or pressure. Over time, children who experience this kind of narration learn to do it internally. They start talking themselves through problems. That internal voice, that self-talk, is the foundation of self-regulation. And self-regulation is one of the strongest predictors of success in school, in relationships, and in life. 3. Let them pour their own water. I know what you're thinking. That's going to be a mess. You're right. It probably will be. But here's what's happening in your child's brain in that moment of trying. Their cerebellum is coordinating movement. Their visual cortex is judging distance and depth. Their motor cortex is calibrating grip strength in real time. And their prefrontal cortex is planning every step before it happens. That's 4 separate brain regions firing at once. Just from pouring water. When you pour it for them because it's quicker, you're not saving time. You're trading 4-region brain integration for 30 saved seconds. Beyond the neuroscience, there's something even more important at stake. Agency. The deep, felt belief that I am capable, that my actions matter, that I can try, fall short, and try again. For our children especially, children who will grow up in a world that sometimes tells them they're less capable before they've even had a chance to prove otherwise, that feeling of agency isn't a nice extra. It's armor. 4. Pause before you answer their questions. Your child asks, "Why is the sky dark at night?" Your instinct is to answer immediately, and you probably know the answer. But if you just give it to them, you've just closed a door that was wide open. Instead, try this. Pause. Look at them. Say, what do you think? This activates the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory, imagination, and meaning-making. It forces your child to hypothesize, to wonder, to construct their own understanding of the world. And when you follow up with, "That's interesting, let's think about it together," even if their answer's completely wrong, you're teaching them something more valuable than any fact. That not knowing is safe. That curiosity is valued. That thinking matters more than being right. Repeated over months and years, that lesson builds a brain that loves learning instead of fearing failure. 5. Let them be bored. This one is hard, because when your child says, "I'm bored," every instinct you have wants to fix it. Hand them the tablet. Suggest an activity. Put something on. Anything to fill the silence. But here's what neuroscience calls that quiet, unstimulated state. The default mode network. It's a state of brain activity that only activates when there's nothing to do. And it's where some of the most important cognitive work happens. Creativity, problem solving, emotional processing, identity formation. This is when children invent games. When they figure out who they are. When they learn to sit with themselves. If we constantly entertain them, their brain never learns to entertain itself. And a brain that can't self-direct is a brain that will always need external stimulation to function. That's not something any of us want for our kids. Next time they say they're bored, smile. Say, "I know, that's okay," and walk away. Let them sit in the discomfort. It won't last long. And what comes after it? The game they invented? The story they made up? The problem they solved on their own? That's the brain doing exactly what it was built to do. 6. Slow down your own nervous system. First, this is the one nobody talks about, and it might be the most important of all. Your child's brain is constantly scanning you. Your face, your breathing, the tension in your voice, your pace. When you are stressed, and let's be honest, modern life gives us no shortage of reasons to be stressed. Your child's amygdala picks it up within milliseconds. Their body tenses. Their cortisol spikes. Their thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex, partially shuts down. They can't learn well in that state. They can't regulate in that state. They can't build in that state. But when you pause, before you respond to the meltdown, before you react to the mess, before you answer the 20th question of the morning, and you take one slow breath and soften your face, their nervous system follows yours. This is called co-regulation, and research shows it's the single most powerful mechanism for building a child's long-term capacity to manage their own emotions. Your calm doesn't just help in the moment. Over time, your regulated nervous system literally teaches their brain how to regulate itself. You are not just managing the situation. You are building the architecture. 6 habits. None of them require you to buy anything. None of them require extra hours in the day. They just require a shift in how you see the ordinary moments you're already living. Let them finish the sentence. Narrate instead of direct. Let them try the thing that might make a mess. Turn their question back to them. Let boredom breathe. And slow yourself down first. Your child won't remember the Tuesday morning you let them pour their own juice. But their brain will. It will remember the feeling of being trusted, of being seen, of being allowed to grow. Here's what I want you to do right now. Pick one of these habits, just one, and try it today. Not all 6. Not tomorrow. One, today. Because the brain doesn't need to be taught. It needs to be allowed. And you are already giving your child more than you know. If this gave you something, if it changed even one thing about how you see the moments you're already in, subscribe to this channel. Hit that button right now. Every week I'm bringing you the science behind child development. Not the theory, not the guilt. So just the practical understanding that makes you a better parent in the moments that matter. And drop a comment below. Tell me which of these 6 habits you're starting with today.